I go to battle for you every day to combat the nonsense in the mainstream media. They're more interested in sound bites and sensationalism. I'm interested in the truth and being your consumer advocate. My ultimate goal is to help you win in any marketplace, and I'm bringing an edge in the real estate and financial game. My name is Craig Sewing, and this is the American Dream. American Dream, welcome back. Halftime, Simple Man.
Halftime, here we are.
Halftime, Cox, Channel 4.
It's good to be here. I've been taking notes all day. Great show, Craig. You lined them up again and banged it out of the park. Starting off with Big Bob.
We're gonna keep going here. We got Brian Lewis, our real estate elite out of the Pacific Beach Marketplace, coastal guy who works and plays out of there. Let's just bring him right in. What's going on, man?
How are you?
You really want to know?
Sure.
I'm on a cleanse right now. You ever done a cleanse?
Feeling good, I have. Yeah.
I'm not at the point where I'm feeling good.
Well, you'll feel really good in like 3 days.
Well,
Do you have a headache yet?
I'm fighting the headache.
Yeah.
No, we're fine. I'm a grown man. I can handle it. But we're on day 2 of the cleanse, where I haven't eaten.
It's
basically,
the toughest, yeah.
It's just taking juice. You know, it's from a great place downtown, Detox Lounge on J Street.
Yeah.
So you know the spot.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm doing right now. I'm
Yeah.
starving.
Go jump in one of their infrared saunas.
I'm supposed to do that
make
later.
You feel better.
Yeah, cool little spot if you want to do a cleanse.
Yeah, J Street.
I'm doing it to try and be a little bit healthier.
Yeah.
You know, it's good for you.
It's good for everybody to do it once in a while, yeah.
Let's talk PB.
Okay.
So what's going on down there?
Thanks for having me on the inaugural show.
I know.
I feel privileged.
We had to bring the best, and we're saving the best for last. We got Mary Maloney coming here too as well, so she's going to talk a little bit more
Very
North
good.
Carlsbad, San Marcos, and then actually you're going to be discussing one of your investment properties.
Yeah.
1031 Exchange, good topic there as we
Yep.
get to that. Bill Exeter with 1031 is going to be joining us,
This is
helping
the
you
perfect property.
with getting out of these tax liabilities. Again, we talk about real estate, but it's not just real estate. It's real estate, financial planning, mortgage, tax planning, all that stuff. So,
Right.
what is new in PB?
Well, there's all kinds of new construction going on. Watching the videos, listening to Bobby Martin's talk, I'm on his side. There's so much going on. If we just had more activity, more inventory.
So what does that mean? He referenced that, and I probably should have stopped him for a moment to ask a question. But if you have low inventory, and you have a lot of people coming in to buy that low inventory, wouldn't that put a lot of upward pressure on pricing?
That's what makes it such a weird market that I've never been through anything like this, where there's typically economically, if there's low supply, there's high demand, or it forces prices up, it puts upward pressure. So pricing is kind of staying, it's kind of
flatlining a little bit. Yep.
But home sales are up, so you would think it would be putting upward pressure. But I think it's a combination of what's happening in the job market and consumer confidence is just keeping that pricing down. But it's still a seller's market big time in PB. I mean, the stuff that I'm seeing, new construction, the builders that I'm working with, they're selling stuff before they even break ground. Yeah, it's selling really quick.
Well, we got some stats here. Yeah. I know that there's the market stats at PB, but also the absorption rate. So let's start with the absorption rate.
So I bring this, it's like Bobby was talking about educating your buyers, educating your sellers. I like to bring stats to every conversation about what's happening in the neighborhood, what's happened in the last year, what's happened in the last 6 months. In Pacific Beach right now, the absorption rate, just to explain what it is it's how many homes are on the market right now divided by how many sold in the last 30 days, and that gives you the month average or the month supply. So if no other inventory comes on the market in Pacific Beach, we have 1.68 months of supply of detached homes, which means we'll be out of inventory in a month and a half.
Now, what's normal?
6 months.
6 months is normal.
That's a healthy market. Yeah.
So, what's keeping the inventory from coming to the market? What is going to get this to open up a little bit and create some more activity?
I think I think people are still, like you had the South Bay PSAR president come in. People are just getting back to where they're, at the top of the market, what they paid for it, and maybe a little bit of equity. And as we get around that hump and get back to a point where people have some equity, they'll start putting their houses on the market.
Well, the people who didn't have equity, if they've fought the fight for this many
10
years. If you've put up the fight, I don't know why you necessarily want to sell now when you're actually starting to see your home be the asset you wanted it to be when you first bought.
Unless you're in a mortgage that you can't refi because you have no equity. So if you bought a $700, $1 million piece of property and you're paying a mortgage on that, you get to the point where you're not going to take a hit on it, you'd probably want to walk away from it because you need to get it to 80% of value to be able to refinance it, right? So that
at times, you know, I mean, you can have a higher loan to value. Do FHA allows up to rate term, I think 95%. We can help you refinance your mortgage. Again, another good reason if you need anything on your mortgage. This is big, actually, not just refinancing, but loan modification. If you are having challenges, great thing to do is go to craigsewing.com. We have a team of attorneys, financial guys that can help you get for a free consultation that mortgage modified. Michael Ripley, we saw on the radio show this week, got $308,000 removed off of someone's principal balance on their mortgage.
Wow.
So again, just know that we want to be a resource, not just here to be two more disconnected talking heads in the media. There's plenty of that out there to actually be a resource for you. There are more stats that you have out of PB. So what are some of the market stats that you have?
Exciting stuff. I mean, the median values have gone up in Pacific Beach. The big thing on this slide is year-over-year increase in sales. So, I mean, a 72% increase in year-over-year sales. 44 sales, you know, that's pretty good. The values are coming back. I think the housing market is stable and strong right now. It's just if we had more inventory, like I said, we'd be gangbusters. So, what about, you know, the fun stuff down there? Now, you and I met years ago. I'm not going to get. Well, we do have a new audience now. Now this is our first show on Channel 4. So why not share the story? Well, Brian Lewis takes me out in PB, showing me the market, takes me out on his boat. He's got this sailboat. Now this guy does scuba diving, sailboating, shark diving, wrestling, does everything down there. And he takes me out on this sailboat. You chose not to drink. I can't say the same about myself. So I had a few beers on the boat. You let me captain the boat. We almost hit a Canadian tanker. Canadian destroyer.
Some 360s, almost sunk it.
Yeah.
You pushed me out, saved the day. Appreciate that. Lived to tell another day, or lived to, I don't know, what's the expression? Whatever. Fight another day.
Fight another day.
I'm on a cleanse. We're moving slower today.
Yeah. That was pretty exciting.
It was fun.
Doing 360s.
Doing 360s in front of a Canadian cruiser that was on his megaphone. I mean, they had AK-47s walking around this thing, and they basically yelled at us to get away from the boat. It's not something you want to do in front of a boat with a bunch of guys with machine guns. But we survived. But, you know, I think it's important, though. Earlier we were talking with Bobby about how there's 17,000 real estate licenses in San Diego.
We talked about it on the radio show.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's important to work with people that are in the market, know the stats, work, play, live there. And I think it's important that people connect with you. They can go to thinkbrian.com, which is your website. They can see all of your listings. You have a new listing right now, is that right?
I do, yeah, which is a perfect segue into your next one of your next guests, the 1031 Exchange folks. It's a duplex on Bonaire in La Jolla. So it's a perfect property for somebody if they're trying to get out of something else and move, you know, their equity in another investment property. This is a perfect investment property. It's a zone duplex lot that could be developed. You could build 2 units. It's got 2 units on it right now. The owner used it as a single-family house when they had kids and they were living there with their kids, and then they've turned it back into 2 units. So it's a 2-bedroom in the front, a 1-bedroom in the back. Two-car garage, so there's a garage for each unit. They vacation rent it. I think the front unit they get $1,800 a week.
A week?
The summer, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yep.
That's crazy.
They even have nightly rental for it.
I own some duplexes in Missouri. I think we get $1,800 out of both sides a month.
Yeah.
You know, so $1,800 out of one side a week.
Well, you're not doing weekly, right? You're doing
monthly.
Vacation rental? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing about this place is what most people do at the beach in La Jolla and Pacific Beach and Ocean Beach is they'll put a long-term renter in there, a 9-month renter in there in the winter, a student or maybe a working professional or a professor, and then in the summer they turn it back into a vacation rental.
Yep.
So they get the best of both worlds because it's a little more difficult to vacation rent in the winter.
Well, I mean, how can you argue that? Unbelievable.
It's almost a crime watching the weather these days that the rest of the country's buried.
Oh, God, are you kidding me?
72 and sunny here.
No, I mean, there's a while I was putting up social media posts or texting family back home in St. Louis, and I honestly started to feel bad. Yeah. It was like, they get it.
I did the same thing. I stopped messing with my cousin in Columbus because
it's not right.
Yeah, he's like, I'm on my trainer in the garage, and I'm like, it's 72 and sunny.
Yeah. It's how many times can you tell the same joke?
Yeah.
We always encourage you to go to craigsewing.com to ask any questions you might have. And this is where, when you go to the contact form, it sends me a direct email. It's confidential. There's no strings attached. So I want to get to some of these emails. Brian Lewis, I call him B-Lou. If you could stick around and help me answer some of these, that'd be great. So what do we got? Steve Kane, you want to help us with some of these?
I'll help you with whatever you need help with. You and B-Lou seem to have a good handle on things. But Mary from Chula Vista, thank you for reaching out through craigsewing.com. Hey, Craig, love your show. Love your radio show. Thank you, Mary. What do you think home prices will do this year? Good question, Mary.
Thanks, Mary. It depends on where you're buying. I'll let you answer first, and then I'll go expand outside of the coastal market and just kind of a generally. We have to get more general. It's not the right answer. I hate answering this question, but look.
Well, I think countywide, what we've seen is the trend is we're trending at 2 to 3% increase per quarter.
Okay.
That's what it's at right now. So in a place like Chula Vista, they still have some room to come back from where the top of the market was. So I think you're going to see prices. I don't have a crystal ball, obviously.
We don't. Yeah.
But I think you're going to see prices still gradually be going on. I think we're going to see gradual increase for several years.
Yeah, I mean, you could throw on one of these national network guys, these empty suits, these talking heads that are going to throw numbers at you, and they're not going to apologize when they're wrong.
Yeah.
So we don't want to do that. We want to give a much more objective point of view. But if you're going to ask my opinion, having the experiences I do, I think we're probably going to settle into a normal market.
Right.
I'm guessing a 4 to 5% appreciation would be great.
Yep.
If it's more, even better. But at 4 to 5% appreciation, keep in mind what you're getting out of that. If you go and you buy a house and you only put 3.5% down, let's do some numbers here. $500,000 house, 3.5% down. You're talking somewhere around $18,000. Find me where $18,000 could leverage an asset that's $500,000. If it went up 5% a year, you get a $25,000 gain. $18,000 can't gain you 25 grand anywhere in the market,
right.
And you can't live in any stock, and a house can't go to zero. Last time I checked. So it does make sense to buy. I hope that's not what your question derives from. It does make sense, but if you're doing it to try and get 20%, I wouldn't expect that anymore, and we shouldn't want that. That's an overheated housing market.
Yep.
Let's get another question in.
All right. Alan from San Marcos through craigsewing.com. Hey, Craig, what's the best thing to do to get my credit scores up? Great question, Alan. I got the same question for you.
That's really a good question for me to answer. I built a credit company years ago. I know the credit space really well. It really frustrates me how much the consumer doesn't understand it. You don't learn about it in high school. You don't learn about it in college. There's no credit police. I'm willing to bet that we offer a credit package from our radio show, Alan, where we'll give you a free copy of your credit report, show you how to opt out from getting your information sold, and a free credit analysis. I'm willing to put $1,000. I've done this on the radio forever. I will give you $1,000 if you go to craigsewing.com. You want our free credit package, and you have a credit report that has 0 inaccuracies. If you can do that today, if you want us to give you this free credit package, and then we can't find inaccuracies, and I don't look at it, we give it to our credit expert, Aran Sinai. If you can't find something that's inaccurate on your credit report or a way that you're exposed to identity theft, the show will give you $1,000. I will give you $1,000, and I've never had to pay that out yet. But it's a smart thing to do. Get the free credit report, the free credit package, and how do you get the credit scores up? Look, credit scores, they're kind of like a Rubik's cube. There's certain things you could do that you think would be good that could actually be bad, like paying off a debt and closing the account. There's certain things that you could do that, like paying off a collection that you think is good, but that reinvigorates the negative item on there. So be careful. Get advice from a professional. We can help you there, craigsewing.com. Can we get one more in, guys? All right, we're getting one more in. Simple Man, Steve Kane, what do you got?
Yes, sir. John Amir Mesa. Hey, Craig, how does bankruptcy work, and how does it affect my credit? So back to the credit issue. John, good question. Again, thanks for writing in.
We're here again. This really speaks to an important point that this show is about consumer advocacy. So today we're drilling heavily on real estate. We're bringing in our local experts, guys like Brian Lewis and Bobby Martins. But it is important that we help you with your debt management and your credit as well. Now, the thing about bankruptcy, another thing that's totally misunderstood, a bankruptcy, if you watch Wheel of Fortune, it makes you feel like a loser. You hit the black triangle, you go to zero, you lose all your money, the crowd boos at you. A bankruptcy is a law actually protecting you. You can protect your assets, your home, emotional things like your marriage. You can eliminate your debts, you get a fresh start. You have to qualify for it. You can only do it once every 8 years. But you're going to find this to be crazy. Credit scores are derived off of having a 90-day late, the likelihood of that late. Bankruptcy, if you can avoid those 90-day lates, you can actually see your credit scores go up because you're eliminating the debts that are attached to those balances. Now, I don't want to say that's going to happen every time, but it's a possibility. So address the bankruptcy and your debt first. We'll get you a plan on credit as well. And look at this show as a hub of the wheel. You know, we're going to bring you information, but all the spokes are all the people we have involved, all the professionals that can help you. And we have great attorneys, great credit experts, and obviously real estate professionals as well. All right, Brian Lewis, thanks for coming in, helping us with these emails here today.
Good luck with the cleanse.
Thank you. You know, I got 3 more days. It's a 5-day cleanse. You ever done a 5-day?
No.
No food?
No.
It's not easy,
I'm
man.
going to call you in 2
It's
days.
Yeah. Well, you said day 3 I'd start to feel good, so tomorrow I should be golden.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Life could be worse. All right, so coming up on the American Dream, I want to get to more of your emails. We're going to have Mary Maloney come in here, talk about North County, Carlsbad, San Marcos, and other areas up there. Also, Bill Exeter, we've talked about him a few times on this show. How do you minimize your tax liability, capital gains when you're discussing real estate? So important. If you have questions with it, go to craigsawing.com. But we're going to be right back in the American Dream in just a moment.